Okay, hi, I'm Santiago. I'm the CEO of Minteo. We're a stablecoin issuer for Latin America. I'm here all the way from South America visiting for the Fabric Venture Summit. I'm very excited to be here. We're basically putting Latin America on chain. We started out with an NFT marketplace, and one of the things we very quickly noticed is that the market needed like local stablecoins. People want to tokenize real world assets. People need to do FX exchanges. People wanted to do things in their local currency, their native currency. People are not used to using other currencies. It's very unnatural, which is kind of a sort of obvious consumer um, thing. It took us some time to realize it, and then we decided like we're gonna do like stable coins for our local markets. We're pretty much starting. We just launched our first stablecoin for the Colombian-based peso COPM a month ago. We're getting the first partners on board, getting into DeFi, launching. We're very excited. Hopefully, we're gonna have a Mexican stablecoin by the end of the year, or probably like within the Q1 next year, and then more countries coming up next. I'm really excited to be here. This is like an awesome event to meet like other founders and people in the industry. Obviously, um, very bullish in the space since like 10 years ago.
What do you think is gonna? What is your biggest projection for the next 5 years? Where do you think this? Where do you think the space is going? Where do you think the biggest challenges lie to solve?
Obviously, I think that for me, I think there's like the biggest challenge is still like consumer adoption, which is sort of tied to like a lot of regulatory pressure and uncertainty. I think there needs to be sensible regulation. I think sort of what's happened in the U.S. where there isn't clarity has been like very detrimental to the industry. Um, I also think in crypto we were sort of the base where we were building out infrastructure, and we're heading into the phase where we can build like consumer applications. Pretty much the same with the internet or like with I guess a lot of technologies. This is gonna be like very fun when we start seeing like more consumer applications when people don't even realize they're using crypto on the back end. That's probably what I would think. It's just like you're gonna see like it's gonna start working in places where people are not gonna know that's happening. Sort of like the internet, like you're not like thinking like, oh, my application is connecting to an HTTP server and sending an SSL request so I can get a car and go out just like you get an Uber. I think the same thing is going. We're starting that phase for crypto.
So, what type of timeline would you put on like the consumer application stage coming into fruition, and how far are we into the infrastructure kind of build phase versus like early kind of what timeline would you put on the infrastructure through to consumer application stage?
So this is a very rough guess. I think. I mean, we've definitely been like probably over 10 years in the infrastructure phase. Um, for me, the moment I like personally realized like we were at the point where this was like consumer ready was when I saw like Polygon and Solana come out. Like when you can have transactions for cents on the dollar, when you can have TPS of in the thousands. For me, that's like ready for consumer. I would say probably like the only things I think we're sort of missing would be like we need more advancements in terms of privacy, probably CK chains for consumer adoption. But other than that, I think like the technology is pretty much like ready. I think it's just a couple of years before it starts to get built out. Like 3 5 years. There's also some things like like MPC custody. Um, that need to like get more like institutional grade so we see consumers. So I would say it's like 3 to 5 years, hopefully 2 years. Like with these things, like you never know. Like it's kind of weird. I'm thinking like with the internet, like when I saw like Rails, I thought like this is ready for mass adoption because like before Rails, like you pretty much had to like set up a server, and before AWS, you had to like put up your own images, set up your own hosting. Like it was a lot of work. And then when you got Ruby on Rails, it's just like anybody can pretty much build like any web app. That was like really powerful. Um, but you don't really know when it is. But I think we're very close.
And then one more question. Um, what's your relationship with Fabric? Who's the relationship with, and what's been the best value add that Fabric's given to you as a founder?
So Fabric is an investor of ours. They invest into our seed round. Um, We speak with Tom and Anil, which have been awesome. Um, I think very highly of the Fabric team. I think like you have a very high level understanding of crypto. Um, Also, like you see a lot of people like coming in out of the space. It's clear that the Fabric team has been here for a long time now. And I also like the vision coming from Europe, which is a bit different than sort of like most VCs, which are US based. It sort of also gives them like gives Fabric a different vision of the world.